What's up everybody, this is Alexander King and today, finally, we're going to be listening together to Tsunami Sea. So Tsunami Sea is the latest record by Spiritbox. Spiritbox, of course, I'd imagine you know the band if you clicked on this video, but it's one of the biggest players for sure in the modern metal scene. And I'm very curious, I've listened to a few of the singles that they've released on the build-up to this. The record that's been out for more or less a week, I think. I still haven't had the chance to listen to it. So the expectations are very high. All of my friends and all the people that I work with within the music industry, artists, producers, from very different genres and backgrounds as well, which is very important, I think, have been telling me to listen to this because it's a great album, kind of a sum of the modern metal scene. That's the way that it's been described to me. But anyway, I've been rambling already way too much. It's 11 songs, we better get started with it. Again, this is Tsunami Sea by Spiritbox. We start with Fatam Morgana at number 1. Let's go. Oh my god. I already have to turn the volume way up. Talk about a statement of intent. Look at the record. What an opener, my god. You have the usual duality between the heavy and the melodic. As we're used to from them, just so dynamic as well. Just going from very heavy to then more opened up and spacious, like luscious guitar riffs. I mean, when you open a record like this, like, where do we go from here? What can we say, guys? It's, my god, as I said during the song, it's like a statement of intent. I'd imagine, like, it's become kind of a tradition recently across a very different range of musical genres to open the record with a very atmospheric and slow, in a way, song. Maybe to set up the mood. Don't get me wrong, they did set up the mood, but they set it up in a very different way compared to that. Just straight aggression with the usual, as we said, duality between the more melodic elements and the heavy, the breakdown, the riffs. Fantastic. Great way to open the record again, like fantastic opera. Let's move on to Black Rainbow, track number 2. Right with the bat getting a more electronic vibe. This one is bouncy. Imagine this live, my god. Nice, double tap on the chorus. Oh, the dissonant guitar solo. I mean, more guitar lead than a guitar solo, but you get what I mean. And again, this keeps on switching between the half-time and the double time. Build it up. And that voice, my god. Wow. Very good transition into track number 3, which is Perfect Soul, which is one of the ones that I've heard. But very quickly, guys, on Black Rainbow, my god, the energy, loved it. They kept on switching between this half tempo and then the double tempo, which is also like kind of opposite to what you usually do, where you maybe open it up and slow it down on the chorus, where the verses are more energetic. They took the opposite approach and they kept on changing it up. And then that beautiful build-up, as I said, remind me a lot of techno production. Fantastic song. The energy in this one is amazing. I've already added this to my favorites and probably workout playlist. It's fantastic. Live, this song is going to be absolutely devastating. But yeah, guys, let's go with track number 3, Perfect Soul. Which very appropriately was one of the leading singles. It's very Spiritbox. It's like both catchy and heavy, but their voice is so good. Just don't get used to it. You can really see why this was picked as a single. I love that they keep on playing though with these things, and of course I notice this more now because I've already listened to the song a few times through. But just playing with the timing of the drops and the timing of when the instruments come in, it's the details, guys, it's beautiful. And those melodies, wow. So yeah, guys, I mean, what can I say? I guess more than what has already been said about this song, it's, I think, becoming one of their most popular ones very quickly and for a very good reason. Also, if I see it, like the number of streams that it has already collected, like it makes a lot of sense. It's a more commercial and palatable song compared to some other ones that they have for sure. And of course, compared to the first two that they opened the album with. Fantastic song and also fantastic record placement. Right after 2 very energetic and heavy songs, just breaking it up a little bit. So let's see how they keep it going with Keep Sweet. Very typical intro production with the voice like swarm on the back with all the reverb and effects. Interesting drums, it's almost like a drum and bass. Nice. The way that they layer the melodies. I do wonder though how they're going to do this live. Like, I don't know if I haven't seen many of their live performances, but I don't know if there is like a backup singer basically within the band, or if they use pre-recorded tracks to just hit also the melodies, because there are so many layers. It's fantastic. And the wall of guitar is just basically drums with the sound. Listening to this with some nice studio monitors, it's nice lead. It's nice. It's at the first listen, I have to say, compared to the first 3, it's a little bit less enticing, at least for me. It's like it's very canonic when it comes both to the structure and the production. It's a very sort of typical modern day metal song production. But I also understand that they kind of gave us a caution with Perfect Soul and this, because the next one, it's Soft Spine, which again, it's the other song that I've already heard with the lead-in singles. And my god, that's a heavy one. So without further ado, guys, let's move on to that. I still remember when I listened to this for the first time, This gave me such a strong Linkin Park vibe, like the intro, that I had to double check also because I guess we're lucky enough to live in a time where Linkin Park are releasing music again, so... But by this point I had no doubt. It's just so dirty. My god. And if I'm not mistaken, this is also the one that they played live with Poppy, which makes a lot of sense because Poppy has that very harsh, like high-pitch vocal, which complements the song as well, very well. But this is such an aggressive track. I might have listened to this breakdown now like 20 times already, but it doesn't make it less effective. And that guitar, like almost like a Slayer type guitar lead on top, it just makes so much chaos. I mean, what can you say? It's like, what a song, what a song. And it's also, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first single that they released on the build-up to the record. And it's a similar conversation as to what we were talking about with the latest Sleep Token song. It's like leading a very anticipated record because, I mean, it is, as I said, one of the biggest metal bands right now. Leading with this instead of A Perfect Soul, and I might be wrong because the order might have been the other way around, but if I'm right, Soft Spine was the first single, and again, it's like going for the kill right away. No mistaking of selling out or whatever you might call it. This is a modern metal band, so there are a lot of metalheads out there that do not appreciate it as much and consider it very commercial. And of course, there are influences from pop music, from techno, from, as we heard before, even drum and bass. So it's a very mixed bag of influences that this band pulled from. But this is what makes it one of the most relevant modern bands in metal, because metal is evolving in that direction. And they're just representing where the scene is going. Fantastic song. Let's move on to Tsunami Sea, which I think was also a single, but I haven't listened to it. Right off the bat, this feels like the most Spiritbox song of the record so far. The sound of the drums, the production is so good. It's just perfect, it's pristine, it's perfect modern metal production. Again, this very, like the addition of these lead guitars more in the background, but they just make up so much atmosphere. Like before it was the absolute chaos in Soft Spine, here it's more ambient, out of reverb. You can barely hear it, but it adds so much depth to the song. Okay, this one a little bit like track 4, like it's in a way a bit more formulaic. It's like very standard song structure, no big surprises, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a little bit less interesting compared to some of the other ones that we heard so far. Not as remarkable as A Perfect Soul or something like that. So the harmonies were fantastic, the melody was good. The structure was a little bit less interesting. The riffs and the time signatures were all there. So it's still a very solid track. So yeah, let's move on to number 7, Heaven with Two Face. Haven. Pardon my Italian. Nice layered acoustics, it almost sounds like Ghost. They do this thing all the time where they do 2 octaves of guitars, a lot of reverb, sounds fantastic. Definitely half tempo vibe. There's an half tempo vibe that feels kind of refreshing also throughout the album right now, and it gives a lot more space for the guitar chunks to just project. Listen to that kick drum. It could punch through a mountain. I'm loving these guitars. The way that they're layered. Oh. I don't know if those were 2 vocal tracks that they combined together of sheet transition. Ah, Jesus. And again, that half tempo vibe. Wow. I think this might be one of my favorites so far on the record. What a track, guys. Yeah, I think easy one of my favorites of the record so far. It's very interesting. Again, as I said, it has that element that maybe just makes it stand out within the record a bit more than if you just take it as it is, just as a song. And that's why it's so important for me to just listen to an album. It's the lost art of track listing. But it makes a lot of sense within the context of the record, as I said, because it breaks up the structure of most of the songs that we've had so far, which were very fast tempo. Incredible vocal performance and incredible production. Those are the 2 big stands out to me. That singing that turned into the scream as we transitioned into the heavy section of the song. Amazing. Wow. Fantastic. Chills. Incredible song, guys. Let's move on to number 8. No Loss, No Love. And if you're wondering why I keep on going towards the screen, is because I'm not wearing my lenses, so I'm half blind as always. Track number 8. It's almost like it's continuing on the intensity that was built with the track before. Bass. Listen to that bass coming through. Nice. These kind of remind me of Poppy actually, which is fun with everything that happened at the Grammys. Even the higher pitch scream. Woo. This constantly like dropping in and out really could be a song on the last Poppy record, guys. It also kind of reminds me of the first Spiritbox song that I've ever heard. I don't remember the name, I'm terrible with names, but the one in the field. And she was singing in the video. Very short song. I'm glad they ended on that note, even though it was a very short final section. My god, so heavy. Fantastic song, honestly. Among the, of course, falls into the heavy ones. But it was also interesting with the song structure, again, keeping on dropping out into that more electronic, also with the effects on her voice, that made it sound like very robotic in a way. And then dropping into the extremely heavy with the big chunky guitars, of course. And I was also very happy to hear the bass shining through a little bit during the first verse, because in modern metal especially, I think that it's lots of time it's sacrificed, but it services the song a lot. It kind of tracks along with what the guitar riff plays, just to create that extremely heavy chunky low end in the song, which is one of the main characteristics when it comes to modern metal production. So it's always nice to hear it coming through when the guitars drop out. At least I really like it. It's like you're not sacrificing the low end, but you're also mixing it up when it comes to the dynamics of the song. And then, of course, inevitably, the heavy guitars also come in. Fantastic song. Let's move on to number 9, Crystal Roses. Again, that drum and bass influence seems like a mix of auto-tune and a robotic effect, like a vocoder. Might be a random association, but it kind of reminds me of the last Weekend record. Even with the low octave voice, it's probably the most commercial in a traditional sense of the word so far, but extremely interesting. Definitely vocoder action, my god. Just doesn't stop. Just gonna fade out, I guess. This is by far one of the most interesting songs on the record. Like, it's a standout for sure. Quality-wise, yes, it's a very good song. Like, the melody is very interesting, but especially a standout because of the production choices and just the way that a song actually is in it of itself. It's like as I said, very more modern in a way, a little bit more commercial, even though of course it's not something that you will find on the Billboard top 100 songs. But again, it's something that wouldn't completely shock me if it was maybe a little bit rearranged, but on the Weeknd's record, like the last one, which is a bit more dark, and it has some more interesting choices as well. Very good song, honestly. I'm impressed, and I wasn't expecting to hear something like this on this record. Very good. Let's move on to number 10, Ride the Wave. And again, the flow of the record, because this is still kind of building up on that vibe. Those harmonies all the time. Oh. It's like the drone on the background almost, which is probably an affected guitar that fills up the higher end of the mix, building up to something for sure. I was not expecting for this to get so heavy. I think this is also one of the surprises of the record for me so far. And now you can hear even more like the ambient back noise, which is like a drone, and now it feels like there is a choir as well, which goes chromatic down. Na, na. Back to that 808. Fantastic song. This is also one of my favorites of the record. It has for sure one of the most, like probably my favorite breakdown in this whole album, maybe with the exception of Soft Spine, which is so disgustingly heavy. But it's more unexpected here because they played with a very different ambience in the song with the guitars layered that way and the vocal melody, so I wasn't expecting it for it to get so heavy, and they kept it going as well for a little while. It's one of the longest songs on the record, and I'm very glad that they left space for things to grow and develop like they did. I'm a huge fan of space in songs, like you need to let the song breathe and the melody breathe. If the song is like 2.5 minutes with 3 choruses in it, you kind of know what's going to happen already. This definitely left me guessing, and that's one of the main reasons why it's one of my favorite ones so far. Okay guys, we're on to the last song on the record, Deep End. Appropriate naming. Has an emotional vibe already. It's also one of the first times that I hear that major corporation. Very interesting drum choice. I love that they're closing it off as well with the acoustic guitar. And again, more ambience. It's just all these details in production. Wow. Appropriate ending. So yeah, guys, that was Tsunami Sea by Spiritbox. So what can I say? It's a fantastic record, especially because it just feels like a record. You know what I mean? Like, it's very cohesive. It makes sense in the track listing and in the way that it flows. I know that recently they had been releasing more EPs compared to full-on records, but this is the type of thing that you can achieve with a whole album. It's like a storytelling. Like, of course, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the lyrics. I never do on a first listen, but you just paint a picture. It's almost like a movie, which is also why it's kind of a tendency to start with something a bit more slow, maybe, and just setting up the mood. Unless, of course, like in this case, you just want to set up the mood and just destroy everything right off the bat. And then you close with something that it's a bit more... Yeah, that almost feels like a soundtrack in a movie. When it comes to at least the emotional side of it. So yeah, guys, I mean, besides, of course, the 2 singles that I had already listened to, so Perfect Soul and Soft Spine, which are very different in their own way, 2 sides of the Spiritbox that we know and that we love. Soft Spine, it's for sure a standout to me, even more than Perfect Soul. But besides that, I have to say I'm very impressed, especially like the opening duo, and then Heaven with Two Faces at number 7, and then that like 9 and 10, Cynical Roses and Ride the Wave. It's like the unexpected element in it. In a way, it's also the more, I don't want to say commercial, as I said, because especially Ride the Wave, then it takes a very blunt direction in the song, but it has some different sonorities that I really enjoy, and I think that they just integrated them flawlessly within their own sound. So it still sounds like Spiritbox, but with different elements to it to keep the listener, I guess, also guessing and make it more interesting. It's those are a perfect example of what I was saying. So these are album cuts. I think they wouldn't be released as singles. But within the logic of the record, they just break it up in a way and they just create something more interesting. It adds an extra dimension to it, which makes sure that when you're listening to it from start to finish, as I think, maybe I'm old-fashioned, as I think that you should, it just provides a better listening experience overall. I guess you could make a pun about the Tsunami and their impact on the whole metal scene, and they just keep going. So I'm expecting bigger and bigger stages and bigger shoes for them to fill in. So guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this and taking a listen with this together with me. This is kind of the direction that I want to take also for the reactions on the channel. Just listen to old records, because that's the way that I enjoy listening to music in general more. So do let me know if you're interested in seeing more videos like this on the channel. And of course, if you're curious to find out what I do in my own time, in my own artistic pursuit, I guess, as a producer, as a musician, as an overall artist, let's say, I'll leave all the links down below. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.